Okay, I think this is working. I don't know. Hello to people who are viewing. Is this working? Are you able to comment? I've never done one of these before, so we shall see. Um, let's see. Okay, is this working? One person watching? Who are you? Are you able to type something? Um, I don't know if this is working. Is this working? Maybe, maybe, I don't know. Okay, hey, okay, I'm getting comments. Hey, hello, yes. Um, okay, people that are, whoop, are you able to? Okay, looks like it is working, possibly. Sweet. Okay, so hello, all five of you guys. How is it going? Um, this is a new territory for me because I've never done this before, so bear with me as I figure this out. Okay. So what is up, people? I don't really know how to start this thing, because yeah, I'm not super great at this stuff. Um, I guess I can, just start talking about whatever. I was hoping just a little bit more people show up. I'll give it till like, I don't know, like 30 more seconds before I start talking about everything. Um, but I guess where is everybody from? Just state wise. Like, what state are you guys from? I'd love to know that. California. Nice. How is the weather in California? Is it like 70 degrees and like perfect? Because in Ohio, it is not fantastic. We just had, what was that, like the smoke from the Canadian fires, kind of like within Ohio, and it was not great. But, oh, I love this channel. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of start talking about some things. I didn't really plan anything out for this, so um, yeah, it should be good. But I'm just going to kind of go over, I guess, just some of the stuff in my movie room, I guess. I bet it's hot over there, but I've always wanted to visit California. It's on my list. Actually, there was a point in life that I wanted to live in California, but Um, I don't know if that will ever happen, but um, so yeah, I'm just gonna kind of like I said, just gonna kind of talk about some stuff behind me, um, and then you guys feel free for anybody to ask any questions about anything. I would love to answer it. So um, today, I guess, was the Criterion sale for Barnes and Noble. I was not aware of that until like halfway through the day at like I guess like 12 o'clock, and it kind of just are we doing TV box sets too? Um, yeah, sure, I can talk about TV stuff. I can probably take the camera around the corner where the TV stuff is, but um, no TV. Okay, I'm a movie guy. Okay. um, but Criterion sale happened today, which was um, hi Daniel. The Criterion sale happened today for Barnes and Noble, and I kind of just like I was planning on going tomorrow because I thought it started tomorrow, but it turns out that it happened or started today. So um, I ended up going to the sale. I won't necessarily reveal what I got yet because I want to make a video on that in the future, but I will say that I got some pretty sweet stuff when I was there. Um, so yeah, I guess I'll just like go over some of the cool box sets that I have. I haven't like gone in depth of some of these yet, and hopefully you guys find that interesting. But um, let's see. Do you have Toy Story? I do have Toy Story. Like just on, I think I have it on DVD. I mean, no, I have it on Blu-ray, and I do have a Toy Story VHS tape. When I was little, my parents, like really, really little, I was like not allowed to watch Toy Story for one reason or another, and so my parents like hid the VHS tape because they got it for a birthday gift. They hid it in the shed, um, and so that was technically my first movie I ever got. So I have that kind of on display on the other side of the room. But your favorite packaging, lenticular slipcover steelbooks. Ooh, let's see. I do like lenticular slipcovers. And I'm not a huge steelbook person. Um, I do like steelbooks. I like if I do come across them like cheap enough, I tend to snag them. But it's not like I have to get the movie on steelbook, if that makes sense. Um, and as far as lenticular slipcovers, I'm trying to think of like which is like my favorite, like all time favorite. Um, wow, I don't know. Um, there's so many. I could be looking forever. I do like slipcovers. If the movie does come with a slipcover, I try to actually get the slipcover. Um, but my all-time favorite packaging, I would probably, I don't know. I'm a huge fan of the Scream Factory like box sets that they put out. Um, I think they're just really like nice quality. But I'm also a really big fan of the Criterion box sets. I think it's just some of the best packaging in like movies that we have. But um, you're a collector, and I have my own YouTube channel as well. Sweet, I'll have to check that out. Do you have Peter Pan? I have Peter Pan on DVD, I think. Nice horror laserdisc. You should. Thanks. Yeah, I the only two really like laserdisc things like that I collect now would be horror and Criterion. I used to whenever I'd come across any laserdisc, I used to just buy it right away because I figured it was cool, and I ended up with just way too many. And so now I'm trying to be more selective if I do come across laserdiscs. But um, do you have a PO box? Can we send you Blu-rays? I do not have a PO box yet, but it is a possibility that will be working in the working. So, um, shoot me a message and we'll talk. You can shoot me a message on Instagram or on YouTube, or honestly, if you want to email me. But why did you decide to start a movie collection? Excuse me, I need to be drinking water. So So I started a movie collection because when I was younger, I had a slight like learning disability. I like would not read super well, and so I like really struggled with reading and writing in English and stuff like that. And so I I always like craved stories and just like craved like these, different experiences and stuff. And so books really weren't my thing. Well, meanwhile, everyone my age was like really into reading and, reading all the major, Lord of the Rings, Twilight's, like all of those like books that I don't know kids read. But I was just really just like watching movies. And so my collection started as just for the James Bond movies. I really wanted to get all the James Bond DVDs. It was just something that me and my dad really enjoyed watching all of the James Bond movies. And so I eventually got all of those, and then I started picking up movies here and there of movies that I really enjoyed and just like stuff that I wanted to see. I think Alien 3 was one of the first like horror movies I bought, but um, yeah, I think that's why I started collecting, and then since then I just keep falling further and further in love with movies. I ultimately want to be a movie director someday, so that is kind of like my goal. And I figured with watching as many movies as I can, or I don't know, just getting their influence on me, learning about them and learning how they're made. It's just become such a, I don't know, big part of my life. But uh, do you have, assuming Meet the Robinsons? I do have Meet the Robinsons on, I think, DVD. Um, what is your favorite horror movie? That is a very hard question. um, I think I always go back and forth because like Evil Dead is like very very high up on my list, but then also like the Halloween movies, especially the first one. But I might have to say because I used to also watch Halloween every single Halloween. Um, because also Alien, like there's so many. Um, I would say probably the easiest way I could answer it is my favorite franchise of horror would be Friday the 13th. I absolutely love those movies. As cheesy as they are so much fun. Um, and I love them. But yeah, my favorite horror movie of all time, that is, I don't know if I could ever answer that because there's so many great ones. I want your collection of movies. Thank you. This collection has taken me, I started collecting in 2011, I want to say, around that time. Um, and it's just been slowly growing over and over, over the course of years. Um, and it helped that I worked at a movie store and we got an amazing discount. I think it was like, I don't remember, but like basically I was getting Criterion for like $8 a piece, like Criterion Blu-ray. That's like only the number I can remember. But um, unfortunately, that store closed down. I lost my job from there, and then I eventually worked at a different movie store where I also got, I think it was like 20% off everything, and the prices were already fairly cheap. So both of those two stores have really, really helped me just build my collection. Also, Facebook Marketplace has been huge. There's been I'm trying to think, the one Facebook Marketplace deal I did was like 1,200 VHS tapes for like $20. There was another one that I did was like, uh, I think it was like 1,000 DVDs, and I think I paid it was like 380 or something, $380 or something. But majority of them were horror, so it was well worth it. But yeah, there's just been like I've been really blessed with just like a few like really good deals come along my way, and it um, really has helped make this collection like what it is. But it's back in 2018, and it's okay. Yeah, I started collecting movies back in 2018, and that is when my passion for collecting started. I will say once you start collecting, it is like such a rabbit hole because then you start realizing the boutique stuff. You start getting into like foreign films. There's so many, and it really is a never ending spiral that um Unfortunately, you'll never be able to see everything. But I don't know. It's such a fun collecting, and I will say that like collecting now is probably the best time to get into it, just because of how much there is to collect. But let's see. My favorite boutique label is Kino Lorber. What is yours? By far, Criterion. Criterion is my favorite label, hands down. I've been slowly getting more into Vinegar Syndrome, and I actually participated in the Vinegar Syndrome sale for the first time this last month. And Severin, which I also participated in the Severin sale for the first time, which was last night. Um, and they definitely, I don't know. I feel like with Criterion, you can like pretty much blind buy anything where it's just, buying it without seeing it or watching it first. And you're pretty much guaranteed that the movie's going to be good because, in my opinion, and Kino's similar to this as well, um, where there's like a certain like stamp of approval. Like Criterion is like top tier, in my opinion, top tier like boutique label. But I do really like Kino Lorber, and I'm trying to get more into them, and so there's a few that I really need to get into from them. But name three stores you visit during Tuesday. So I actually don't do a whole lot of. Sorry, the question was let's see, name three stores you visit during Tuesday Blu-ray releases. I actually don't buy a lot of like brand new titles, like especially on Tuesdays when they're released. There's been a few times that I've done that where if there's a very specific release coming out that I will go to the store and buy it. But I would say the majority of what I get is either used or during sales like Criterion sale or Vinegar Syndrome sale or Severin or stuff like that. Um there has been a few things recently drop that I like really really wanted to go out and get, but I just knew that Criterion sales coming up, and so you just have to like, I don't know, budget out stuff. But let's see, they want 800 for all the Halloween movies. $800 for all the Halloween movies, or the? I'm sorry, Sarah, I don't understand your statement or question, but um, I do know some of the Halloween movies can be pricey, which I am very fortunate. I was able to get Halloween 1 through 5 on 4K for this, I think it was like Scream Factory collection, but I need to get that uh, Halloween 6, 7, and 8 box set still. But um, I visit a Russian films and DVD store in Brooklyn, over 2,000 discs to buy. That's cool. I know some really sweet stores, of course not where I live. There's the Archive. I want to say it's the Archive. I want to say it's in Tennessee, or I might be thinking of something else. Um, but if you get a chance, I would highly recommend checking out just like the Archive on Instagram. I want to say it's in Tennessee. I could be mistaken, so don't quote me on that. But um, they like directly, like, I guess Vinegar Syndrome directly sells through them. I want to say. Also, don't quote me on that. And they look like they have some really cool stuff. If you're ever in the what is it? The Knoxville, Tennessee area, I would highly recommend checking out. I know I've talked about this before, but I'd recommend checking out McKay's. It's like a giant bookstore, and they had a wide selection of movies. Um, I know where I live, the place to go would be like the Exchange. There's several locations around, and they have a good selection of movies, which I live in Ohio. And there's a few stores. I think there might be one store in Pennsylvania and one in Illinois, or a couple in Illinois. I'm not 100% sure, but um, and then, of course, if you're in the Akron area, I cannot recommend enough the Retro Attic. Um, his stuff is just fantastic, and he has such a wide variety of just like 80s like pop culture stuff, I guess. Like it's very like retro, maybe not just 80s, but just like retro-y stuff, like old band T-shirts and stuff like that, and just tons of movies, and tons of vinyl and CDs and video games and figures. It's just a really cool store. I really can't talk highly enough about that place. I really really do like it. But love the videos, Kyle. Thank you. Reminds me of when you were doing film stuff in high school. Gary Cole. Oh, hey Gary, how's it going? Yeah. Um, Whenever I go shopping for movies, I usually go to the video store where I am called. Oh yeah, half price books. I've never been to a half price books, but I would love to go to one someday. It's like on my bucket list of stores to visit. Let's see. What movies do you think are must watches for movie lovers? Um, hmm, that's a good question because I feel like there's of course like the typical answers of movies that you should watch if you're into movies. I would highly recommend checking out if you're really into movies. I would highly recommend checking out the Criterion Collection, which the reason why I keep pointing over here is because my Criterion Collection's right here. Um, I'd highly recommend checking out the Criterion Collection. I think it exposes you to just so many more different types of films, especially foreign, black and white. You know, just so much old stuff, new stuff. Like it's such a vast variety of different types of movies um, that I really don't think you could go wrong with that. And then of course there's the movies like I would recommend watching all the Best Picture winners over the years. Um, I will say that it does seem like the Academy is kind of slipping and like I don't know. I feel like Best Picture was used to be a very like taken serious award, and now I feel like it's becoming more of a oh we forgot to give this person an award last year, so we're going to award them this year type of deal. Um, and so not that all the Best Pictures are bad, but I just feel like you know like Green Book won Best Picture a couple years ago, and I have yet to hear anybody even talk about that movie. So I honestly haven't even seen it. But like movie like Parasite, that makes sense, and Moonlight and stuff like that. But I would recommend checking out more our Best Picture winners. But how good do you know your huge collection? Could you easily find any movie if you wanted to see it right away? Surprisingly, yes. I actually do know my collection. Probably too well, honestly. Um, like even today, me and my wife were talking, and she was asking about a movie that she mentioned to me, um, and she couldn't remember the name of it, and so she was like, I was trying to think back, and so I was kind of just like mentally like thinking of my collection and like thinking where we were standing when she was talking about it, and I'm like, I know it was we were talking about Knives Out, um, but it's happened only like maybe 3 or 4 times where I accidentally buy something just say I'm at like a Goodwill or something and I see a movie and it's like, oh, I don't think I have that, and I grab it, and then I come home and realize I already had it. It's only happened like 4 times at the most. Um, I'm very like I think I like definitely have like OCD or something because it's like I can definitely like remember exactly where things are. And I have everything organized exactly like how I want it, but so I would say I pretty much like finding something like in regards to like if someone's just like, hey, do you have Total Recall on Blu-ray, I can find it right away. But I'm sad, man. My local Best Buy, Target, Walmart never have any Blu-ray movies. Yeah, that it seems to be a trend, which is really unfortunate because I like really love going into a brick and mortar store and actually like looking and finding a movie. Um, I was going to talk about this a little bit in my one of my like collection video, I guess that was going to be coming up. Um, but just like going into Barnes and Noble today, I just noticed like there is not many Criterion there anymore. It used to be like a whole like shelf, and they had a selection between the DVDs or the Blu-rays, and it used to be like a couple copies of each, and it was like I would say the majority of the collection was at Barnes and Noble to like pick through and decide what you want. Um, but now, like I noticed today, it's pretty much only spy numbers 1000 on. If you're familiar with the Criterion Collection, there's like each movie's spy numbered, and I think they're up to like almost 1200 or so. But they've or maybe even past that. I haven't really been keeping track, but they've pretty much the only movies in the store were like newer releases, which is just kind of like there's so many out there, and it's unfortunate because they just want you to order online. But um I mean, I don't know. I got three things in person and had to order the rest online, but um yeah, I miss just going into like a Best Buy and just grabbing movies. But yeah, that's why I think it is important to support local, like smaller businesses that sell movies. I think it's wise to go to those places because it's like you want those to stay afloat. Even though it is more convenient to just to go online, but it's definitely it's worth like trading convenience for selection, I guess. But if that makes sense. Uh, if you get to direct a movie in the future, what genre would you want to make your film? Hmm, that's a good question. I I go back and forth because like I really do like dramas, like love stories and stuff like that. It's just kind of a genre that I've just feel like I've written a few movies in that genre, and I've just really I like that emotion of the characters, and so I would like to. It's also, I would say, I don't want to say it's easier to make, but you're not building a spaceship, or you're not having to go on this like crazy adventure in one of those movies. You can make a drama with just a couple characters like hanging out and talking, and if you do it well, you can make it interesting. But I would say probably initially would be like a drama, and then eventually I'd like to make a horror movie. I think it's such a fun genre to explore. But do you do you recommend buying one region free player or buy Asian Blu-ray and UK player and US Blu-ray players? So fun fact, I actually don't have a region free player. Um, that will be changing soon. Um, I've put it off for the longest time because I was just like, if it's not available in America, I don't want it. And not that the foreign market's bad, but um, I was just so like, there's just so much out there already in America that like I'm like, okay, let me focus on that, and then eventually I'll get a region free player. Um, that is going to change soon, though. I do want to get a region free player because Eureka, which is a company over in England, they are releasing a box set that I would love to get, and um, I might get that soon. Hopefully, I'll see if that is a possibility. But um, it's like the only way to get the movies pretty much is within this box set, and it's Region B. So I'll probably be breaking my Region One policy, I guess, and be getting a region free player. But I still need to do more research on that, so I can't really recommend a player yet. But let's see. Can I see your one favorite prized movie possession? Ooh. Hmm. Wow. So I have a few. And I've talked about this a little bit, I think, in past videos. Um, the Let's see if I can get it without everything falling down. Okay, so this is one. This is the Herschel Gordon Lewis Feast box. This is like the cereal box. Um, this is probably one of my prized possessions. This is out of print, um, and I got a good deal on it. And so it's just like I was really happy to get this. Set this here for now. Another one would be this box behind me. I'm not going to take it down because it's kind of complicated. That's the 25 films by Akira Kurosawa. It's a really really out of print Criterion set that um, yeah, it's just one of those sets that was a very very rare find. Um, and then I do also have the Janus films. It's around the corner, so I guess let me just kind of pop this off. Okay, there we go. We're gonna go handheld for a second. Okay, and then this box set right here. This is the Janus Films Essential Art House films. Um, this is another one that was a really really fun find for me, and also this Harry Potter set. I just have a lot of nice box sets, I guess, that I really really like. But I guess one of my other favorites was this Star Wars. This is an 8 millimeter film. It's like 12 or 17 minutes of Star Wars, which I think I talked about that in one of my other videos. But that was a really cool like eBay find, I guess. But you can see James Dean hanging out in the corner there. But okay, hopefully that was sufficient for your question. Let's see. Coda winning Best Picture makes no sense. I have not seen Coda actually. I also don't own it. Um, yeah, towards the end of the Best Picture winners, I just like kind of like stopped caring. Um, like I'm missing No Man's Land, I think. Um, yeah, there was there's a few movies that I think like towards the early 2000s, like things got a little weird with Best Picture. Like the movie Crash probably doesn't deserve it. Maybe I need to rewatch it, so don't like quote me on that either. But I just think of movies like Schindler's List, which is just a super important movie, like that should obviously win Best Picture, and it did. Um, or movies like, I mean, No Country for Old Men, that's a no brainer. 12 Years a Slave, that's a no brainer. Um, and I mean, even if you go back, Godfather's, French Connection, um, Midnight Cowboy, or Sound of Music, My Fair Lady, all those, like those are all no brainers. But I guess it'll be kind of like the test of time, like over time, if some of these will be worth it or not. But Black Panther, Steelbook, and now. See, I'm gonna have to get through some of these comments. I'm kind of behind. Um, let's see, awesome collection. Okay, so I actually don't have a Letterbox account. I need to get one. I need to make one. I should say. I need to make one. And you should actually start ranking movies. But see, would you let your family members use your movie collection like Blockbuster Video? So, that actually is a very interesting question that um I actually was just talking to my wife about this too. Um, so this makes me sound not like a great person. um, but I don't loan out movies. And the reasoning is, um, it's happened a few times now where I loaned something out, and I loaned a movie out to a friend once, and it was gone for a year at least. If it was like a little over a year by the time I saw that movie back. And I I tend not to loan movies out to leave the collection, mainly because I've spent a lot of money and time and energy on this collection. If somebody wants to come over, we'll watch a movie together. It'd be fantastic. But um, I just feel like, you know, no one respects your property as much as you do, and I just feel like it's just kind of like a small like boundary that I have amongst family and friends that like, it's like sorry, but like I just don't. And it's I wish it wasn't that way. Like I wish I could, it's not that I don't trust people. It's just with the amount of money that I've spent on things and like the effort of actually going and finding them and, you know, getting them, it was just a um I don't know. It's just a boundary that I have at this point. Um did you see the fog movie with the I don't think I have. See, hey, don't choke me. Um, I hate the King's Speech. So the King's Speech actually, it won Best Picture, and there's two different cuts of the movie. There was the TV cut, and then there was the R cut. Um, and the one particular scene, I watched a comparison on the two, and the one scene basically in the TV cut, they cut out all of the cuss words of the one sequence where he's just saying every single word. Um, and they basically only added in like one word just to get the TV rating. Um, and I think that that's the scene itself kind of demonstrates like the power of cussing. But beyond that, I think like I need to rewatch The King's Speech because when I watched it, I remember liking it, but not like loving it. I don't know what else came out that year. I think that was 2010, maybe. I could be mistaken on that. I think I don't know. I could be mistaken, but nice collect. Thank you. Let's see. I watched your from the start. I love watching people with collections as I am trying to build my own library. Um, yeah, my collection it like started on just like a shelf, maybe if I can get this in frame, maybe that big, like one single shelf. Um, and I slowly built from there, and then I eventually moved to like one of those like three shelf bookcases, like the short ones, and then I moved to one of those like taller bookcases, and then I started putting in shelves in my room, and then I built my Criterion shelf that is next to me now, and that took me forever to fill up, and then I moved, and then I got from there, I put in, I filled that up, and I had two more bookcases and filled those up. And so slowly over time, but I also will say that I like initially I bought a lot of just like junk movies, just nothing worth like adding in a collection. I was just kind of wanting to get everything. Um, but yeah, it just takes some time to build up a library. But so last time I counted my collection, I want to say it was like a little over 10,000. Now, with that being said, I do count individual movies. I also count like TV seasons. So like season one of Lost is one, season two of Lost that would be like two, three, and so on and so on. Um, and I also count multi feature packs as like individual movies. So like this would be four movies for that. So it's not like 10,000 individual items, it's like 10,000 like movies. I also have like a like like see that's like 50 discs. It's like a horror box set of like 200 movies. I count that as 200 movies. I know it's not technically like some people would count that as like one item, but for me, that's just how I went through it. I will say I did get rid of a lot of stuff since I counted. I also got some other stuff since I counted, so it's probably around that 10,000 mark. But it does take me like a good like 2-3 hours to count. And I count in like increments of 100, and then I just like make a tally mark. So it's very exhausting, but how big is your TV set? So my current TV is like a Samsung 55-inch 4K TV. I um I um I really wish I had a larger set. I wish that I had a I don't know, like an 80-inch 4K or whatever, but for now that will do. Um because it's a I don't know, it's an expensive investment. And I'm also never looking to get like the greatest thing out there. Um, I'm happy with the 55 inch for now, but someday it'd be nice to get a like an 80 inch or um, but I don't know. We'll see someday. Uh, um, Okay, so King's Speech beats Inception and Social Network for Best Picture. Yeah, I would argue Social Network should have won that year. That movie is fantastic and it's very well done. Can we expect wait, what can we expect for the future of your channel? What kind of movies content or movie content do you like creating? So in the future, I actually do have a few little things that I would like to touch on. I want to keep doing collection videos, like kind of how I've been doing, where that's just going over different things that I find. I think it would be fun. And then I would also like to do like thrifting videos where I kind of take you as the viewer um, with me where I go to find like thrift shops or Goodwills or exchange stores or anything like that, or even the retro attic, and just kind of film what I'm finding, what I'm looking at, stuff like that. Um, I do have a series possibly coming up soon. Um, and I don't want to give anything away because it's going to be fun. But it's in the working, and so there's going to be kind of a different type of video. Hopefully coming up soon. I still have to film it and do all the things, but yeah, I don't know. I would love to hear your guys' inputs. Like, what kind of videos do you like seeing? What kind of videos like I don't know. Do you like the collection videos where I go over like how I did like all my horror VHS, all my horror DVDs, 4Ks, Blu-rays, and all my horror laser discs? Like, is that something that people enjoy watching? It seems like it. But yeah, I do enjoy just kind of making that type of video. But um, there's a few other. I have a list of video ideas I want to make still. So um, if horror is the biggest genre in your collection, what is the second, third, etc. Um, so horror out of all the genres, this is the only one that I have separated out. Um, and the reason for that, I just feel like it's its own. It's like such a like collection-y thing. Like if that makes sense, I don't know. But I'd say the other one would be probably just like maybe sci-fi. I have quite a bit of sci-fi films. It's hard to say because it's like Criterion. It's not really like one genre, but it's a collection of films. And I would say that would be like the second biggest collection within my collection. Um, and like I don't know. I recently put all my like Scream Factory and Shout Factory stuff with my boutique stuff, so that's slowly growing. Um, yeah, I mean, I have the one wall in my you might have seen in my collection video where it's just all my um, just movies that I have between 4K, Blu-ray, and DVD. Um, but yeah, I don't know exactly what would be the second biggest collection or the second biggest genre. I just like collecting everything, but um, I use CLZ. What do you use? What is CLZ? Should I know what that is? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, let's see. Blast Zone Mike's incredible show. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what CLZ is. 55 inch going to be your. Let's see. Let's see. I use CLZ app to keep up with my collection. Okay, so it's like a collecting app. Hate buying something I already have. So yeah, I don't use any app or any like collecting thing. I've tried using them before. It just I don't know. It's just not for me. But yeah, I mean, if it works for you, I would highly recommend using the apps. I feel like they could be very very helpful for people. Um, Living or dead? Dead. Your dream cast to. Ooh, living or dead? What would be your dream cast and director? That's a hard. um, well, Stanley Kubrick is my favorite, all-time favorite director, which might be cliche at this point, but he's my all-time favorite director. And wow, I'd probably say him for director. Um, Cast, wow. Man, I don't know. That's hard. Yeah, I'd have to really think about that. I feel like there's so many great actors and actresses out there that I I mean, one of my favorite actors of all time is like Ryan Gosling, and I don't know. I just really like his stuff. But um, when I got my 3D really picked up. Okay, so looks like you. Let's see. When I got my 3D TV, it really big. Okay. Um, Sorry, I'm just kind of reading comments, but love thrifting for movies. Okay, so I would like to probably make some videos in the future of me like going out and thrifting and stuff, but um, Blu-ray labels, movie. Wait, did you get Blu-ray label? Move to burn on demand disc service. Um, I think I would be mad if it was like a burn on demand service because with my buying habits, I guess, um, I tend to like what I tend to do is just um like I buy it and then I put it on a shelf and then I'm like I'll eventually get to it. I'm like there's only so many hours in a day that I can watch movies. And so I'd rather just buy it as quickly as I can and then put it um on the shelf and then I will get around to watching it eventually. Um, I don't think Blu-ray will ever go to burn on demand. Hopefully not. The closest thing that has happened was Warner Archive DVDs. If you're not familiar with Warner Archive, let's grab one here. Um, so Warner Archive, it's a very interesting label. All of their discs were, I don't know if you can tell, that's like a purple, almost like it's burn on demand. It's not like a that wasn't like a um like I don't know. There's like a catalog that you would have to order the movies through, and um, yeah, I love Warner Archive. Yeah, so Warner Archive is actually like a very interesting label. They're no longer in service technically for like buying discs through them, as far as I know. I could be mistaken on, at least on DVD. I might be mistaken. It's been a while since I've looked into it, but um, yeah, I feel like they're just not. I don't know. There's only a limited amount of each movie that's floating out in the wild. Um, so I don't think Burn on Demand would ever really take off, which would be sad if it did. But it's me a lot because you can scan the barcodes. Yeah. So CLZ. I'm assuming that's how it's like an acronym. I'm assuming for something. Yeah, helped me a lot because you can scan the barcode. Yeah, I tried one of those that I could try scanning the barcode, and it just never. I just never. I don't know. I feel like after like 100 movies, it wanted you to pay for it, which I don't know. I figured I don't really need it because I can remember everything that's in my collection for the most part. But what has been your best thrift find? Ooh, hmm, that is a hard question. Um, I don't know. I have found I guess some of the fun, like most fun things that I've found is like 8mm films at thrift stores. Oh yes, that is it. Um I found most of what I have for 8mm film. And I found like Charlie Chaplin movies and um just some other ones that were just like really cool to find. And I think they were like, only a couple bucks each. And so that might have been one of my favorite thrift shop finds. Other than that, I don't know. I'm constantly finding just like really cool stuff here and there. Um, but I don't know. I have over 14,000 titles, so it helps having CLZ. Um, wow, 14,000. That's a lot. um, yeah, I could imagine, especially if you're like if you need something to help you like keep track of everything. I feel like I don't know, once you hit anything over 10,000, I feel like it's going to be hard to keep track of. But hi there, Kyle. Hello, Brian. Will you show us your VHS tapes or laserdiscs tonight? I probably won't do like a collection thing tonight. Um, I might be doing a video though soon on all my laser discs that I have. VHS as well. I could do a video for. I mean, I feel like it might be. I don't know. It would be a lot of just going through all of them, but I mean, I could show just a general what they look like right now. I'll do that quickly. So I actually have all my laserdiscs and stuff right over here, which you'll have to excuse. The movie room is a little messy right now. But this is all my laserdiscs. Don't mind the computer on the ground. This is all laserdisc right here. So there's quite a bit. Oh, I should also say there's laserdisc up over here too. And then VHS is all right here. So there's quite a bit of VHS there, and I have VHS box sets, and also this whole middle thing is all VHS. And I'll do a more, I guess, this side as well. I'll do a better video in the future, going over exactly what I have. But if you are interested, I don't know if you've watched any of the other videos. I did do a complete horror VHS collection video and a complete horror laserdisc video. So yeah, I have both of those up on my channel if you're interested. I'll eventually be doing probably a complete CED collection too, because I have a decent amount of those. But yeah, I have just too many. But so one thing I did want to quickly touch on tonight, which I will probably be wrapping this up here soonish. I've been talking for 53 minutes now. So, and I guess also to the people who are watching, is this like, do you like live streams? Because I can also keep this up too if this is something that people would be interested in me doing. So I let's see. I wanted to talk about just different boutique labels. Um, so yeah, different boutique labels I wanted to just kind of quickly go over. Because I feel like if you're new to collecting, wait, yes, go live. Okay, sweet. If you're new to collecting, boutique labels can be kind of intimidating. I'm still intimidated by them. I think that there's like once you start getting into them, it just I don't know. There's so many out there. So boutique. Let me just kind of flip the camera over here. Boutique labels. This is my boutique label shelf behind me. Basically, I know films that. There we go. I know Films at Home, which is another YouTube channel on this platform, which is fantastic. If you have not watched his stuff, Films at Home does just like a ton of physical media stuff. He did a great video talking about the different boutique labels and just kind of like what they all are. But essentially, a boutique label is like a higher presentation of the film. So like Criterion does like restoration work. I guess all of them technically do restoration work to some extent. But there's Scream Factory, Vinegar Syndrome, Severin, Criterion, Arrow, Kino Lorber. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I have in mind Olive Films. which I don't know if you would technically consider. Grindhouse releasing. Um, I'm trying to think what else is like major ones. You have the foreign market, which is um, yes, Serial at Midnight is another great YouTuber. I would highly recommend checking out. I feel like his content is fantastic. But um, but yeah, I would if you are into collecting, I would definitely recommend trying to get into boutique stuff because there's so much and it's just so many like different types of movies and it's not just your Walmart titles. But unfortunately, you won't see boutique label stuff necessarily at Walmart or Target or Best Buy. Um, that I mean, Best Buy carries some. I guess they carry like Scream Factory, and now they're starting to carry Criterion as well, and some Arrow. But yeah, there's a ton, and it's I'm still learning because there's like just so many different labels. Let's see. Let me go back up here. I missed one comment. If you could resurrect one store, what would it be? Blockbuster or okay, so Blockbuster or Family Video. So I actually, if you're not from Ohio, Family Video is similar to Blockbuster, where it's just a video rental store. Um, and I know Chris Stuckman on he's also on YouTube. I think he did a pretty good video talking about what Family Video is. Um, and it was only in 2021 actually when Family Video started going out of business in Ohio. So they were around for a very very long time, um, and I um, I actually used to go there because they would sell. They had a section for sale and stuff of movies, and when they started closing down, everything was discounted, everything was for sale, and so I got a ton of stuff that way as well. Um, but I unfortunately was never like old enough to be like going to Family Video. I feel like they closed down before I was really into movies, and because I'm 26 now, so it's kind of like um, I don't know when Blockbuster actually closed down, but Family Video was around for a while, and I would there was one where I was living, there was one down the street, and so I would go there. I don't know, maybe once a month or so, just to kind of see what they had. So I was actually really sad when they all closed down, and it's just kind of like a sad thing of like end of an era because I knew that Family Video was like holding out for a very long time compared to Blockbuster. So um, I would just have to say Family Video by default because I was never. I think I've only been in a Blockbuster like maybe twice in my life. So I never went to a Hollywood Video or any of those, but um, I don't know. I'd say Family Video would be like a cool one to resurrect. But do you have any? I do not have any movie Blu-rays actually, which I do want to actually get a movie account, um, like and actually for just to stream some of their movies. But big into Warner Archive, Kino, and Arrow. Um, yeah, I I love all three of those labels. I need to get more into Arrow. I feel like I haven't really like dove really far into it, but Kino I do like, and there's a few things that they've put out that I'm like. I mean, they put out Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, and they put it out in 4K, which is like it's fantastic. So, what do you love about boutique labels over the run of the mill? So boutique, um, I feel like it's kind of a um, hmm, I like it because I feel like there was reason behind the boutique um movie. It's not like they're going like a boutique label's not going to be buying up like Transformers 2 and doing a restoration work. It's not going to happen. Um I think it's just because like I feel like there's like care and dedication of like restoration work and there is like love behind. It's like behind them actually putting out the movie. And so I feel like with like run of the mill stuff, it's just kind of like I just know that they're just like throwing it out there for, to make money and like to keep it coming in. And um, I don't know. I just feel like with a boutique label, there's like people who deeply care about the movies behind them, like doing restoration work. Um, so 2001, yeah, 2001 was, it was very. I want to say it was either 2020 or 2000 or 2021, um, when Family Video went out. It was either, yeah, one of those 2 years. But I think COVID was kind of like the reason why it kind of all fell apart, which is really sad because I really did enjoy just walking around and just, looking. Even if I wasn't renting anything, it was just fun just to like look, like walk around and look, and you know get in a conversation with somebody in the aisle about what movies what, and just chat for a while. Like, it was just really nice. But it's unfortunate that you know young kids now will never be able to experience that. So um offers 3 months of movie for free for everyone. Okay, yeah, I'll have to look into that. I do want to get into a movie, but uh do you like film noir? I actually do like film noir. There's a few movies in my collection um that I really do like. I'm trying to think of their which ones they are now. I'm not huge into it. Like, I'm not like I definitely don't like go out and buy the box sets from, because I know Kino puts out a lot of like noir films, and um I don't know, I would like to get more into it. But I feel like I saw one that was like really good, but I cannot remember what the title was now. Shoot. I'm gonna think of it as soon as I get off this. I'm gonna be like, oh, is that one? But do you collect Funko Pops? So I do not collect Funko. Um, I do collect NECA figures. And I don't have a huge collection. I just have like one Freddy, one Jason, one Michael, a couple Xenomorphs, a couple Predators, like the Jungle Hunter Predator and like the City Predator. I have King Kong, the Mummy, and um, what was it? The Wolfman. Yeah. So I have a couple of them. They are expensive, and so I don't really like. I don't know. I don't really go out of my way to buy figures. I think they're cool. I just, it's not really like what I really collect. I did have a friend though that was really into Funko Pops, and he really got a lot of them. But very own. Do you have plans? Okay, so that's actually a good question. Do you have plans to make your very own Criterion closet? No, but I've definitely thought of it. So if you've watched my videos in the past, I think it was, might have honestly been my first video where I talk about this briefly. I don't know. But my goal is to own all of the Criterion movies. And it's a crazy goal because there's, like I said in the one um earlier, I said that there was like I think almost like 1,200 movies. I would say I'm about halfway there. I guess I can quickly show. This is my Criterion collection currently. So um, it's this shelf, this shelf, this shelf, and this shelf, and then ends like right over here. So one, two, three, four, like four complete shelves of Criterion right there, and of course I have all the box sets up there. Um, but I've thought about making a Criterion closet. However, I don't know. I kind of like how they're displayed now. And I don't know. I figured like once, because this is going to eventually fill up. I know that this will. I only have like a shelf left of space, and once that fills up, then I don't really know what I'm going to do. Because I just have all my boutique stuff slash A24 movies. They could probably move somewhere else in the collection, but um, which that takes up for like most of a shelf. Um, but I figured if I fill up this whole thing with Criterion, like they're gonna have to bleed onto the shelf behind me, which is my horror collection. Um, and I don't know. I really um yeah. If you're not familiar, the Criterion Collection, they have these videos where people go into what's called the Criterion Closet, where it's essentially the Criterion Collection where they go in and they kind of talk about, um, like, I don't know, they talk about what uh, their favorite Criterion movies, or they pick out movies to, take home. But um, so it's been like a thing for people to like make Criterion closets or stuff like that. But what's your favorite A24? Ooh, that is a hard one. I would probably have to say. Sorry, I'm like looking at them. Okay, so I have three. If that's allowed. Maybe four. I have four. Um, so I have Ex Machina. I think that's like just a beautiful, wonderful film. Um, let's see. The next one would be A Ghost Story, which might be my favorite. I love A Ghost Story. I think it's just such a fantastic film. And then I also really liked. Where was it now? I just saw it. Oh, Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems is definitely not a relaxing movie by any means. It is such a I don't know, it's like anxiety in a movie. Um and then I really really liked The Green Knight. I think that was also a really fun one. So my goal also is to have all of the A24 movies, but they just keep releasing them like so quickly and I cannot keep up. Um and so like the newest one I have is Men, and I know there's been like a bunch of other ones that they've released since then. So do you collect just like Woody Allen or Polanski? Okay, so actually, I don't necessarily collect their movies. I but like I won't not buy the movies if that makes sense. So, like for instance, like last actually the other night I watched the movie Manhattan by Woody Allen. Um, and in my opinion, I try to like take away the art from the artist in some cases, not all. Um, and there's just I don't know. I try to let the movie always speak for itself, and I want to see what the movie is like, what the message of the film of itself is, and not necessarily the people behind it. Um, I also know that when it comes to a movie, there's a lot more people involved than just the director, and so I don't like not watch movies by certain directors because it's like just because it's their like movie. Same thing with like Polanski. I think Roman Polanski's made some fantastic films, like Rosemary's Baby. Rosemary's Baby is just a fantastic film, and it's so I don't know. I don't necessarily like collect their movies. I do have a small section of my favorite movie like directors, which I'm going to do a video on that someday as well, just kind of going over all the different directors that I think are like my favorites. But have you seen RRR 2022 on Netflix or Triple R? I have not actually seen um that movie or triple. I think it's is it RRR or Triple R? Um, or I've not seen it, but I've heard good things about it at least. Um, but Men was crazy. I keep hearing that Men was actually kind of a crazy movie, so I do need to check it out. I have not actually seen it. Um, but let's see. What's your favorite Best Picture winner? Ooh, that is also a hard question because um, yeah, I hmm. I would say probably my favorite Best Picture winner, which just goes into one of my favorite films. It might be Annie Hall. Well, speaking of Woody Allen, might be Annie Hall. I just feel like I really like that movie. I don't really know why. I think it's because it's like a love story, like kind of. Um, but I do think that it is just a fantastic film. Um, I also really like Rocky. Um, I think it's like that's also a great movie. Obviously, they're all good movies within the Best Picture movies, but um, and I mean also Titanic. Like yeah, I just there's so many good ones. Argo is fantastic. 12 Years a Slave is great. Yeah, Parasite's good. Shape of Water, I love that. But yeah, you like kids movies from Pixar or Illumination? Okay, so I like Pixar. I despise Illumination. um, the reasoning is I just feel like Pixar is actually like a creative. I'm not like a die-hard kids movies fan. I know some people are like, they love it. Um, but I just like I don't know. I like the movies, and I'll go see them, but I'm not like a die-hard fan. I don't like Illumination. So like Minions is just I hated it. And I know some people love it, and that's fine. They can like it. Um, I just feel like with if you compare um like Zootopia with like what was the movie that they did? Um Illumination. They did the Sing, which I've actually not seen Sing, but I've seen like clips from it. Or if you compare it to like Minions, where every single creature or minion is like the exact same essentially. Um, but um, with Pixar, it's like with Zootopia. Just say I think that was Pixar, or is it just Disney? I actually don't know. Um, but stuff like that, where each like individual within the movie has like its own like their own personality. And I feel like with Illumination it's not like they don't do that. They just do a very general personality for like all the minions, and I feel like it's just lazy, in my opinion. But Zootopia is Disney. Okay, so I'm trying to think of that of a Pixar movie, like Toy Story. Every single toy in Toy Story, um like they all have their own personality. So I don't know. I just never liked Illumination. I just feel like it's kind of like I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like the hallmark of kids movies, if that makes sense. I don't know, but do you have like TV show sets? So I actually do like TV show sets. I definitely don't watch enough TV, like actual TV shows. Um and I like the collection aspect of TV sets. So it's like how there's multiple seasons. I won't go out and buy like just like you know the complete series of the I'm trying to think of like of a show. Like I won't go out and buy like the complete series of The Wire. I'll like go out and buy the individual seasons because I feel like it looks better on a shelf. And yeah, there's been a few times where I just had to buy like the complete series of sets, but I definitely don't buy them or watch them nearly enough. Mainly because it's just like it's such a time commitment. It's like, well, I could watch four movies or one season. That's not even a good comparison. I like you could watch like one season of a show or like 10 movies or whatever. So, um, but uh, have you ever been to a film festival like Cannes or TIFF? I have not actually, and I mean the closest thing there was like a in Canton, Ohio. There was like a film festival that I went to, but I've not been to any like major one. I would love to though. That someday it'd be great. I'd like to enter a movie into one of those film festivals someday, but um, yeah, for now I've not been to any. But I was a production assistant though on a documentary on Discover, or it's like on Discovery Plus. Might only be on Amazon now because I know Discovery Plus was got bought out or something with HBO or um but yeah, there was a documentary that I was the production assistant on, which was actually a lot of fun. But um Yeah. Um, trying to think if there's anything else that I should talk about on here. Um, I guess like what do you guys collect? Like I'm curious what like everybody else collects in this chat. Like what's like the biggest thing within your collection, I guess? Because I know some people are really into like anime, or some people are really into um I mean for me it's like I mean I collect everything, but like Criterion, or some people are like exclusive horror, or like exclusively horror VHS. I'm curious like on in here like, you know, who collects what. Film noir. Okay. Um Sweet. Because like I'm very like it's always like a when I worked at the movie store. When I worked at the movie store, it was always interesting to like see what people would be buying, especially like the regular people, um, and just I don't know. What was the movie? What was the movie that I worked on? I'm guessing. Um, yeah, the movie. I guess I'll. Yeah, the movie that I worked on was it was a documentary called When Philip Met Missy. So it was like a murder mystery type of thing, or not murder mystery. It's just like a like true crimes documentary. Very interesting experience, but um, yeah. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I really wanted to touch on when I was on here. Um, I'll probably be wrapping this up here soon, just because of time. But okay. Um, yeah, my one thing that I really do love about Warner Archive is my biggest collection. Um, now playing. Do I follow now playing movies and games? I might follow you on Instagram. I'm not 100% sure because I know like Warner Archives. Like I feel like I've seen a now playing Warner Archives um, that I follow like with the now playing movies and games. I'm gonna have to look after this because I feel like I follow you on Instagram. But um, yeah, I Warner Archive is such an interesting thing, but that's fun. Um, um, so what was I saying now? Um, yeah, I completely lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the movies. So one thing that I love about physical media is that with like streaming, because I know like there's such a like a battle of like people feel like streaming versus physical media, which I think of it as like having both. I think like you can benefit from both. Obviously, not everyone can have a basement filled with movies like this, and that's totally okay. But you know, some people just they want to have like one little bookcase, or you know, some people love physical media. I personally love physical media, but I also I should say I don't pay for this, but my father and mother-in-law, we just kind of use their accounts for Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Disney Plus, all of the streaming services, um, which is nice when there's like in it like the movie like Prey, which was on Hulu exclusively. That was a movie I wanted to see, and it just kind of like was um, I don't know. It was only on streaming, so I think you can benefit from both streaming and physical media, but I also do think that having the disc, it's like no one can ever take that away from you. So whether that movie is going to get edited or like, um, you know, cut or whatever, like the physical disc, like, I don't know let's see, if they decide to change Night of the Hunter, for whatever reason, like if there's something in it that they feel is problematic or whatever. And they feel like, instead of it being 93 minutes, it needs to be 90 minutes, and they cut 3 minutes out of the movie. Um, my disc will never change. Like, this disc will always be 93 minutes. And I think, like, that is important to have in, like, today's world. I think that it's um so much is getting, like, between censored or, trimmed or whatever. um it's scary at sometimes, because it's like, well, you know I don't know. My personal thinking with it is, like, what's offensive today might not be offensive 100 years from now, and what's not offensive today might be offensive 100 years from now. There really is no way of actually knowing that. And so I just feel like it's important to, you know have the originals available for people to view. um, and, if there needs to be, like, some kind of disclaimer or whatever, it's like, whatever. But, like, um I don't know. I just feel like there's certain movies that are important to have on physical disc. And so, um, yeah, Disney is cutting so much. Yeah, I agree. I mean, as I forget who said it. Um, it might have been another YouTuber, Critical Drinker. If they're not familiar with him, I would definitely check him out as well. He does a lot of movie reviews and stuff like that. Um, as he once put it, he said that, a small trim here, or a small, like, edit here, like, you might be fine with now, but in the future, if they keep that pattern up in the future, they might be changing something that you don't want to compromise on. And it will be too late, because they'll just have all the power to do so. Um, so I don't know. I really, really, really just, I don't know. I really love physical media for that reason, because it's like, no one can ever take this away. But I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it, I guess. But I could probably talk on that for another hour. But let's see. I guess something else that I didn't show off yet. That I was thinking about putting in the next video, which I still might. But I recently got this from my mother-in-law. But I got this really cool, like, shining, like, here's Johnny, little head, which is awesome to put on the shelf. I have no idea where she found it, but now he sits there on my horror shelf. So, but I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I was really trying to talk about. In the future, I guess, anybody else who's watching this, in the future, if I did get a PO box, is that something that people would be interested in, and, like, sending packages, and I review them or talk about them and stuff like that, I guess? Because I know somebody mentioned that earlier, um, which I could also then do, which that's also, I shouldn't mention that yet, because that was also a possibility. Um, Okay, cool. I have another small idea somewhere in the back of my head. Um, um, yeah, I have another small idea kind of brewing in the back of my head for another idea for the channel. So I'll probably stay tuned, and yeah. Would you pay for a service that uses artificial intelligence and movie collecting? What do you mean by that? Artificial intelligence for and movie collecting. I'm not sure what you mean, but I'd probably say no. Um, Although some of this AI stuff is insane. Like, um, but I do a lot of like, photo work as well. So I'm a professional photographer and videographer for a living as well. Apart from this, and some of the AI stuff that you can now edit photos with is absolutely wild. You can just, you know, pretty much Photoshop whatever, and it's kind of insane. It's impressive, but it's just it's a lot. But um, okay, so I've been talking for almost an hour and a half. So I'm actually going to be wrapping this up now. Um, but thank you guys for everyone who tuned in. I really do appreciate it. Let's see. Imagine artificial intelligence to catalog your collection, automatically search for discounts on discs, and propose. Oh, so okay, yeah. So I honestly that does sound interesting. Yeah, it's kind of like what's that website that does like automatically searches for discounts and stuff. Yeah, that's interesting. Um, honestly, that maybe, but um, yeah. So, um, but thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I really actually enjoyed talking to all of you guys. It was a lot of fun. Um, but I'll probably be doing more live streams in the future. Um, so who knows? If you did like them, I would love to, you know, just hear your feedback. What can I do differently? What can I do better? Just message me over on Instagram or on YouTube. I think you can, or you know, comment on something on YouTube. Or honestly, you can shoot me an email. But I really do appreciate everybody watching here. It means a lot, and thank you for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. That is still insane to me. Um, I still, I mean, I'm at like 1,070 subscribers now, which is just absolutely crazy. So, um, yeah, just I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say, but thank you guys as always. I appreciate all your support and all of the um, all the kind things that you guys are saying. So I will see you guys all in another video. So hopefully there'll be one coming up here soon. But thank you as always for watching. Bye.